welcome to my channel. My name is Esther and today I'll be sharing with you everything I made in the month of August. Before I do, I'm just going to quickly tell you what I'm wearing. This is the By Hand London Anna. It's the bodice mixed with a full circle skirt. And this one was made in African wax print, which I really like. It's perfect for the summer. I've worn it more times than I can say. This dress is unlined. I've used bias binding for the neckline and I'll put a picture in so you can see what my dress looks like. In fact, there's a little video of me twirling in this dress, so maybe I'll put that in as well. First thing I've made in August are these Buns orange culottes. They are the absolute cutest things. So if you haven't seen my review of the Dear & Doe dressed ebook, I'll link it below and you can watch it. So these culottes are a make from that book. The book was sent to me as a gift from Dear & Doe, and immediately I got the book, this culotte stood out to me. So I haven't made any pattern adjustments for the culottes. I'll just put the size I made in the description as well as on the screen because I don't remember it off the top of my head. I think it was 46, but I'm not absolutely certain. All I've done in terms of adjustments is that I've made the hem a very wide hem. I don't know if you can see it. My hem is actually 4 inches. So I folded it over 2 inches and then folded it over 2 inches as well. So it's nice and thick. And the reason I've done that is that once I saw the cloths, I knew they were going to be too long for me and I just didn't want to shorten them. So I decided to make them the length the pattern suggests and see how long I would actually like them to be on me. And I realized that I should have just taken about 4 inches off. But what I've been able to do is that I've been able to do a nice deep hem. So that gives, a nice effect as well. Guys, the cloths were very easy to make. They have really nice deep pockets. It's a nice slanted pocket as well, and it has some pleats around the waist just to give some nice shaping. But in my opinion, I would say these culottes are very easy to fit, but don't quote me on that because for me, I haven't actually had to make any fit adjustments for trousers. I know. I've been very lucky with that. The only adjustments I tend to make is with regards to length. So I either lengthen or I shorten. The burnt orange fabric is from Buns here in Manchester. Buns is just down the road from me. So I think I was on my lunch break and I just walked there and I found this fabric there and I really liked it, so I bought it. The fabric is 64% polyester, 21% viscose and 5% elastane. So it has a slight stretch to it and it's very nice and comfortable. I think the burnt orange is perfect for autumn, even though my colors are never seasonally appropriate. I would wear whatever color I want regardless of the weather. But anyway, yeah, it's going to be nice to try and style these culottes for autumn as well. I asked on my Instagram how people will style these trousers and I've been advised to get some tights and some knee-length boots. So keep your eyes peeled for styling outfits in my burnt orange culottes in the colder months. Just let me know in the comments how you style these culottes for cooler months. The next garment I made in August was for the So Hailey Jane box. So if you haven't seen my unboxing video, you can watch it. I'll also link it down below. I got the So Hailey Jane August Classic box. I was to make a garment and then contribute to the magazine. So I've done that this month, which is really nice. And the fabric I got was some viscose twill. I had 2.5 meters and I could make whatever I wanted with that fabric. And I've made this. I've made this dress with the By Hand London bodice and just added a basic gathered skirt. Very quick, easy make for me because the By Hand London bodice is one I use all the time, so I'm very familiar with how to, make it work for me. And the basic gathered skirt is a nice, easy one. It's a #1 beginner project, so nice and easy. So it was a very quick make for me. This time, I actually have, for my Anna dress, I have put in an invisible zipper, which is not too bad, but it's not perfect. And I'll just see if I can show you my zip. Yeah, so it's not too bad, but it's not absolutely perfect, but you know, I'm not concerned about that. I also used bias binding for the neckline. It's a nice summer dress. This one is really nice for the summer because the fabric has a nice body but still very drapey, and because I haven't lined it, it's nice and cool on the skin, so you can easily wear it about. You can look forward to seeing my contribution in the So Hailey Jane magazine. In the link below, I'll just put a link that I have, which is an affiliate link for the So Hailey Jane box. You know, you're not under any obligation to sign up, and if you do sign up, it's not going to cost you anything extra, but I will get a small commission. My next make for August is one that I am really excited about. So let me just give you guys a little brief. If you're not following me on Instagram, please do so. It's 9 to Stitch as well on Instagram. And if you are following me, you'd have seen that I modeled for By Hand London, and I modeled for a new pattern that they have called Tamsin. And the Tamsin dress was, you know, was a real winner on my Instagram. Thank you guys so much. So many beautiful comments. My DMs were full. That was a wonderful week for me. So that dress that I've modeled was one made for me by Hand London. It wasn't made by me. It was made for me, and I have the dress now in my collection. It's one of the dresses here, but it wasn't made by me. So when the pattern came out for testing, I'm on the pattern testing for By Hand London for their D cup size. I was going to test this pattern, and then things got busy for me, and I decided that, you know what, I won't be able to make the deadline. However, I saw a hack done by Jen on Instagram, and she's made a top instead of a dress. And immediately I saw it, I was just like, I have to make this top. I have to make this top. I squeezed out time and I made this top. I'll show you guys. It's the By Hand London Tamsin. Let me just show you. Can you see the sleeve detail on this Tamsin? The sleeves have pin tucks, which I have never made before. So I was thinking that this pattern was going to take me a long time to make, and that's why I kept putting it off until I felt like, you know what, I won't be able to make it. But actually it took me a few hours in one day, which never happens for me. For me, it's like a few hours in like 3-4 days. But this pattern, it was one Sunday I was able to make all of it. So I cut it up on Saturday night, and then on Sunday I just did the stitching. This is me adding the fact that I had to stop for church, and also you know, just stopping for breaks and everything, but I was able to do it on one Sunday afternoon. So it's a nice quick make. Because I made a top instead of a skirt, it was also quicker to make as well. But let me just say that this is not one of the views on the pattern. So the pattern is just the dresses, but Jen told me how she made the hack for the top, and that's exactly what I've done. What I want to do is a sew along video of making the By Hand London Tamsin dress. So I want to make a dress. I think I found the perfect fabric in my stash, and I'd like to make a dress. So I want to do a sew along. For any of you that would like to make it, it's pretty easy. But what I really like about this pattern is that, first, the pin tucks are gorgeous. So you have the pin tucks on the sleeves as well as on the skirt. So yeah, so you have those pin tucks, and then you have, which this is also a first for me, you have the facing exposed. If you're going to make this pattern before my sew along comes out, make sure you follow the instructions, because someone said that when they made theirs, they just did it on autopilot, and they've just done the facing the way they would do facings normally, where, you know, you kind of insert it into the garment. But in this case, you put the facing outside of the garment and then you top stitch. It is really gorgeous, guys. So the neckline detail is very nice, and the detail around the sleeves as well as the skirt, gorgeous. It was a really exciting one to make, and I look forward to doing a sew along. It will be my first time, so fingers crossed I'll be able to get it done. Next up, we have a fail. And I say fail because I think I can still salvage the garment, but it's this Sew Over It Eve dress. I'm a pattern insider for Sew Over It. It's just a new development. So how it works is that you get early access into the new patterns that Sew Over It will release, and the point of it is that other people can get a feel of how garments look on different bodies, different shapes, and just different sizes and everything. Essentially, I'll be making up the new releases by Sew Over It. But also, the pattern insiders get access to all the Sew Over It patterns. And I've wanted to make the Eve dress for some time, but I wasn't sure about, how the bodice will fit and everything. And since I became a pattern insider, I figured I'll use the pattern just to see about getting my size in the Sew Over It range and everything. So I've made this bodice, and I don't remember what size I've made, but I'll put it in the description. I did a full bust adjustment for this bodice because finished garment measurements for the bust said it was 42, and my bust is 43.5. And so I just did a 1 inch full bust adjustment so that the bust can be 44 inches. My mannequin is slightly smaller than me, but even then, see all the fabric that is pulling here? It's so big that like the wind can blow this off me. So I think I'm going to need to size down and probably even leave out the full bust adjustment, but I'll decide what I need to do. This one is my fault because usually when I'm making a new bodice, I always make a muslin. So I'd make the first muslin, try it out, possibly adjust the pattern again, make a second one. I think 2 is where I stop at making muslins, but still I make a first one and a second one. But this time I'm like, it's a wrap bodice, it's going to be a forgiving fit, let me just go for it. And I've gone for it and it didn't work out for me. But I have enough fabric. This fabric is actually one of the ones I bought in London. I talk about it in my post-lockdown haul. I bought 4 meters of that fabric, and I think I have maybe just less than 1 meter left. So I'll be able to cut up a new bodice. So I'm thinking about possibly making the muslin I should have made before. So I'm going to size down, maybe try the muslin without the full bust adjustment, then make the full bust adjustment if I need it. Either way, I'll probably show you guys my finished make. So what I like to do is that when I have a failed garment or when I have something that doesn't go quite as planned, I just like to give myself, a breather, a palette cleanser, and just make something I know is going to work for me, something that is going to make me feel good about my sewing, so I can get back on the horse and make a new garment or even adjust what I need to adjust. So what I've done is that I've made 2 other garments which picked me up, and now I'm ready to continue with sewing as normal. So when I was looking for a pick-me-up, I decided to go on to make a knit garment. Historically, I have been afraid of knit garments. I'm very comfortable with making woven garments, but when it comes to knits, I'm always afraid. So I'm trying to, feel the fear and do it anyway. So earlier in the lockdown, I made 2 knit tops, and now I'm just trying to expand my range. And just because, they're very quick to make because you can just make them on the overlocker, it makes for a very quick make. So after making my, disastrous Eve dress, I decided to make a full circle skirt in scuba. This skirt is the first scuba garment I have ever made, and oh my goodness, guys, it was very quick and easy to make. I'm telling you that it took me maybe 45 minutes, including cutting the fabric and then doing all the sewing. But let me just say that this is a full circle skirt. However, I use a pattern to make my circle skirts. It's just because sometimes when I'm done with work, I just don't want to think about figures. So thinking about, trying to do the mathematics required to make a full circle skirt, I'm just like over it. But Megan Nielsen have a free circle skirt pattern called the Veronica skirt, and that's what I use to make all my circle skirts. All the circle skirts I make are with that pattern. It's just nice and easy to use, and actually that pattern has a variation that uses a knit garment, and so that's what I've used to make this. The skirt has elastic in the waistband, and it's just a full circle skirt. This skirt is unhemmed, and I intend on leaving it that way. Knit garments don't unravel, so you can get away with not finishing the seams or not hemming. So that's perfect. So what I've just done is that I put it on my mannequin and let it sit there maybe for 24 hours, and I just went with my scissors and just snipped it a little bit just to, level the hem. But apart from that, it was a very quick make. I also added a label from Modista Sewing, and the label is "Et Voila," which I think is perfect for a very quick make like this. On a high from making the circle skirt, I decided to make a second one. I had all this fabric in my stash, so it was nice and quick. Just one morning, I quickly cut up the fabric and just did all the sewing on my overlocker. So this is my skirt. It's a burgundy fabric. I'm not sure what fabric this is, but it has a similar weighting to the scuba, so a medium weight knit fabric. And I've just overlocked all the edges, which, if you can see, what I've done is that I've used red thread in the needle, and then I've just used white in the rest of the machine because it was already there and I was too lazy to change it up. This one as well has elastic in the waist and it's unhemmed. Also, I have another label from Modista Sewing. I'm not sure that you can see my label, but it says it's in French, and I actually listened to the French wording before, but I've forgotten it. I think it's fait à la main, which just means handmade. Yeah, so this was a quick and easy one as well, and it just made me feel good. I think that you just need some patterns that are there for instant gratification, and that's exactly what this skirt was for me. A very quick make, I could make in less than an hour. So let me know in the comments what patterns you have that give you that instant gratification. I'm just going to share very quickly the things I want to make for next month, just for accountability. First, I will be making the Tamsin dress, which I'll also be doing a sew along for, and then I'll be making my first coat. The coat pattern is already here, it has been traced, I have my fabric, I've also pre-shrunk my fabric, so everything is ready to go. I just need to cut the fabric up and then sew. Oh, the only thing is that I want to pattern match, and it will be my first time, so I need to learn how to do that first, and then I can get that done. Next month is going to be interesting, seeing my Tamsin dress finished as well as my first coat. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with your friends as well. And just let me know in the comments what you've made in August and what you intend to make for September. I'm really looking forward to making some garments for autumn. So please just give me some inspiration down below and let's just chat in the comment section. Thank you very much.